got to break on her for a minute. She has never done direct sales before, and she got to black in like that fast. And she has over $200,000 in sales every single month, and it grows. Brand new to direct sales. I mean, how amazing is that? Thanks. Oh, there I am. Okay. Hi.
Hi. You know what? I don't think I need this either. I'm a walker when I talk, and I was in theater growing up, so I can project. This has been so wonderful. It's been so awesome. So I'm talking today about determination in relationships. And so I'm going to talk to you a little bit about my journey with Younique. Because one of the single most things that I feel like I did to get where I'm at with Younique is I just made a decision. And I made that decision the night that I joined Younique. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that. I've never done direct sales before. By trade, I'm a birth doula. I'm also a home birth midwife assistant. I've been a photographer. I've been a massage therapist at a fancy spa. I've had lots of name tags and hairnets, but a direct seller or a network marketer wasn't one of them. The way that I wound up in Younique is my husband, he actually just retired from the Army this past April. My husband decided to join the Army rather late in life. He joined the Army when he was 32 years old, and he went as a private. We were living in San Diego, California. I was the lead massage therapist at a 5-star spa in La Jolla. He was an EMT ocean lifeguard, and he just decided that he wanted to be a soldier. He did that after he lost his mother, and then he lost his brother the next day, and his heart was broken. And so it was almost as if he was trying to gain a brotherhood of the brother and the mother that he lost. And I did not want to go into the military, especially, I mean, our income literally, I know we have some Fort Carson ladies out here, it got cut dramatically. And we got by. We moved out to Fort Bragg, and I started my birth business, which is empowering women. It's empowering women through some of the most physically and emotionally difficult times in their life. I did it all at home through deployments and having babies. And it was really, really great, and it kind of helped us get by. And what happened was one of my really good friends joined another direct sales company. And she is now one of their top earners. She's very, very successful. And she did that in about 2 years, and I watched her do it. Now I can remember when she joined the sales company, I actually believe I said that it was like, she's a used car salesman. And then all of a sudden, she became exceptionally successful. And I saw that, and that's inspiring. Except for I knew I didn't want to sell what she was selling. I didn't want to be a part of that company. So one night, I was on Facebook, and one of my friends was really, really pregnant. She was a little grumpy, and she was actually complaining about direct sales companies. And she listed off Younique. Now, I had it in my head that this might be a direction that we'd want to go, because I would absolutely love to know what it was like to make that kind of money, to not be in debt. The month that I joined Younique, I was counting out change to pay our bills from the change drawer on top of my washing machine. And I wanted to know what it was like to live that life. You know, and my husband got injured in Afghanistan. He has PTSD, his traumatic brain injury, blew out his lower back. And so we knew he was getting medically retired. And I didn't know what we were going to do, because he wasn't really able to work. And so she was complaining, and she listed off Younique. Now, I had been Googling top direct sales companies like weeks before, like it was in my brain. And she mentioned Younique, and out of all of them, it was the only one I hadn't heard of. Now, by this point, I started a very successful natural birth and parenting group on Facebook. I had been helping babies be born for years at Fort Bragg, so I knew a lot of people, but I never heard of this company before. I contacted her, she pointed me in the direction of Amber Voigt. I signed up under Amber Voigt, and then I sent her a message, and I said, hi. And I'm pretty sure in that message, like I went through my little story, and then I said, I'm going to be a Black Status presenter. Because when I signed up the night with Younique, is the night I became a Black status presenter. It was not that I just hadn't been recognized. It was a feeling that came over me. I am doing this, and if I'm doing this, I am doing it. And I don't know what I'm doing, and I don't know how I'm doing it, and I don't know how long it's going to take me to do it, but I'm going to do it. And immediately I went to Amber's YouTube, and I started watching all of her YouTubes, and everything she said made so much sense. And I love people, and she loves people, and talking with people, and it just all made sense. I absorbed every single thing that I could. If she said to read a book, I read that book, then I read it again. If Amber said to jump, I jumped, and I said, how high would you like me to jump? And I knew the importance of, I just started sharing just what Amber said. I not once have I ever posted join my team, ever. Actually, maybe I did once when we were doing the Plus You campaign, because it was really, really sweet. It was like an opportunity. It was just like, hey, this is pretty sweet. But I just put it out there. This is what was going to happen. And I started hosting a ton of parties, and I could tell you about how I hosted all the parties, and I could tell you how I talked to people for recruiting, but I'm not here to talk about that. I'm here to talk about determination and relationships. About a month and a half after I joined Younique, I started to get really, really sick. I have Chiari malformation type 1. I also have EDS. I got diagnosed with that when I was 22, but I never had any symptoms, and all of a sudden, it just floored me. So what happens is the back of my brain smushed my brain stem and my spinal cord. So it was chronic pain and the vertigo, and I wasn't able to sit up. For me to get up, to take a selfie, and to put on my makeup took about an hour and a half every single day. And luckily I worked from my bed most of the time, and we can do that. It was really, really, really difficult. But Younique kind of saved me. I didn't focus on that. A lot of people would focus on the bad. You focus on the bad, you focus on the pain. I can't get up and take my babies. I'm having to ask for help. I can't get out of bed. The first 6 months I was in Younique, I was taking my selfies with a broken phone. Like, if you go back, you guys can all go back and look at my profile pictures, you're gonna see some that are kind of blurry. There's a huge crack through my phone. You don't have to have a phone that works. You can be chronically ill. You just have to make that decision. You have to make that decision, and you have to be determined. Because what happens is you don't have to know how you're going to do it. That's not actually important. You just have to know that you're going to do it. And when you make that decision, you put that out there in the universe, it's going to come back to you. And so my team started to grow, and they started to grow, and they came in, and they were so excited. I didn't have experience with direct sales, but I had experience with people. I had experience with empowering people and making them feel good, building relationships with people. My father was in sales, and he taught me a lot of this. And as a kid, I used to think it was really annoying. Wherever my dad went, he made friends with everybody. And as a kid, I'm like, oh my God, he's talking again. Oh my God, we just went to go get a hamburger. Why are we talking again? My dad was working. And I have kind of taken on some of his traits. I like to make friends. I like to know people. People like to know me. Todd was talking about the power of silence when you're talking to somebody, and that can be a really difficult thing. I like to talk. I'm a talker. I like to talk. I enjoy it. People want to be heard. We live in a world where we are like this. We're like this. I went to a training in San Diego last March, and in between the sessions, right, I'm sitting at a big table full of women that I have never talked to before. And so that's intermission, and the first thing I do is lean around to find somebody to talk to, right? And everybody is like this in their phone, avoiding talking to everybody else. Here's the thing. The relationships that you build with your Younique sisters are almost just as valuable as the relationships that you build out there, because you could be sitting next to somebody who is doing something in their business that you're not doing very well. You learn from each other. We empower each other. And we're not just talking about the people we sell mascara to and the people that we're pitching the opportunity. It starts with the community that you make with each other. In your team, without your team, cross-line, up-line, this is a community. And it's really good practice on how to meet people out there You know, when I'm out and about, I put down my phone. You know, I couldn't drive I just actually started driving about 3 or 4 months ago. And so I couldn't go to vendor events, and I couldn't go to mommy play dates. I couldn't teach baby wearing anymore. I couldn't do a lot of good stuff. So my big outing was going to the grocery store, and let me tell you, everybody in that grocery store had my mascara. That was my place. And I tell you what, when you're standing in line, okay, so I'm really good at recruiting at the grocery store apparently, because I always use this. You have a chance to talk to everybody, right? Well, you're standing in line waiting. To the cashiers just want to be talked to, man. They spend all day long and people are ignoring them. Most of them don't even look them in the eye, acknowledge them, or call them by name. People just want to be seen and to be heard and to be loved. And if you're not doing this connection, you're missing out. People will forget what you say. They'll never forget the way you made them feel. And if you made them feel heard and loved and appreciated, they will walk with you forever. They will be on your team forever. You know, they will remember you and they'll be your customer forever. This is not about you. So I ended up having to have brain surgery. It'll be 1 year ago I had brain surgery on October 28th. And they had to remove the part of my brain that was smushing my brainstem because I was really sick. It was really scary. I hit purple status 2 days after brain surgery in the hospital. Because I just needed my phone. Right? I came out of anesthesia and I asked my mom how my eyelashes were. Because I made a decision the night I joined Younique, so it didn't matter how sick I was. It didn't matter what I could do or what I couldn't do. What mattered was I wanted to do that. And I could do that being at home. And I could do that by just loving the people around me. And I could do that by inspiring my team to do amazing things and to be inspired. I inspired my team. I created a community of Team Awesome. You know, the relationships that the women on my team have made with each other have been paramount in my success. Okay, because I went and I didn't know what the heck I was doing. Like, I'm like, oh, you want to know how to have an online party? How to have an online party. You know, I didn't know. I was learning right along with my girls. You know, so there wasn't the sense that I had to know all of this stuff. You don't have to know all the stuff to be successful at this business. You just have to want it. You just have to be like, I don't know that answer, let's go find it. Because, I mean, the fact of the matter is that part of what you're gonna learn on your way to go find that answer, you're gonna learn a lot of other stuff too. You know, and it gave me the opportunity. It's like we were all down there together. We created a community. It was a community. My team kept on growing, obviously. They kept on growing, they were amazing. In February I hit black status, and it was, you know, I didn't put a timetable necessarily on when I wanted to happen until I hit purple status in the hospital in October, then I said February, and I hit black status in February. I don't know why I said February, I really don't. It just seemed like that was the month it was gonna happen, and it did, and it's been absolutely amazing. It feels good to say that I'm a black status presenter just as much as you probably think it does. You know, it's true, it's true, it's a good thing. We moved, I'm back in Colorado now. My husband got out, he got medically retired from the Army. He cannot work because of Younique, he doesn't have to. Would I like him to sometimes? Heck yes. But he's not a good place to be able to be back into the workforce. And so he gets to hang out and be at home with kids that he was away from for 6 years. You know, and it's pretty awesome. We moved back to Colorado. I am an 8th generation Colorado girl. I was born up at Estes Park. My grandparents, my great-grandparents, my great-grandparents were gold miners up at Cripple Creek, and Younique brought us home, and it feels really good to be back. So everybody's journey is different. I'm not saying that like, well, I had part of my brain cut out a year ago and I still made it to black status. What are you doing? That is not what I'm saying, all right? Because listen, all of our journeys are different. All of our hurdles are different. Life throws crazy things at you. Have you made a decision? There wasn't anything I was certain about in my life last year. I broke my foot a day before I had brain surgery. I was, just to make it a little bit more interesting, right? So I was in a wheelchair for several months too. I had so much computer time though, so that was the good thing. So life throws you a bunch of crazy stuff, man. Have you made that decision? You know? And a lot of people don't know because Todd was talking about, well, Lisa kind of set the bar a little bit lower because I don't want to say I am a black status presenter. I don't want to say that because what if I never become one? Or what if I quit? Or what if too many people tell me no? What if I suck at selling makeup, man? You know, what if they're afraid to say that? Well, until you can say that, maybe you haven't made that decision. Maybe that's not your why. Maybe your why is just getting a pedicure once a month, you know? Figure out your desire, and then you put that out there into the earth. You know, and I love Todd. He was really awesome. And Amber told me to read this book. I read this book, and I still read this book. I read this book about once a month. It's How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. One of my favorite quotes from that book, and he kind of touched on it, but the entire quote, you will make more friends in 2 months by being interested in other people than in 2 years by trying to get people interested in you. You know, when you sit down and you're talking to somebody, learn about them and listen. Look them in the eye. Let them know that you appreciate them. And I promise they will come to you and they will remember the way that you made them feel. They will associate you and your business with being seen and being heard. You know, you just have to kind of get yourself and ego out of the way, which can be difficult. You know, I'm kind of like Amber. I have over 70 personals, and all of them came to me, except for one. But can I tell you for a second how many signed up under somebody else because I missed them because I was afraid. Like Todd was talking about, I was afraid, and so you know, I've been in Unique for like 15 months now. Have kind of had to go back and redo the way that I'm recruiting and learn how to make the relationships and visit my business in a different way. And I think that that's what I have for determination in relationships. Just make a decision, and then put it out there. Write it down and say it out loud.